Hi, I'm Christine Boholsky, and this is my AVMA revisions video. My student ID number is 325-2091. I am going to go in order of what was missed on the project. So the first one is reading the columns and explaining what they mean. Unfortunately, at this time, I do only have a picture of the report, but I will make sure to include it in my email. The first column is the PIN for the badge. The second is the associate's name associated with that badge. Next would be what calculations, which are all standard. The type of the dosimetry, which is 8-2H. The next is the location, which is Colchester Veterinary Hospital. Second is the wear period, so the period that the badge was returned to the office and then sent out, which for these is April 2018 to July 2018. Next would be the body dose, which is all non-registrable, which is good. Next is the current dose, which was the dose for the wear time that it was sent out to be tested for, which everybody was non-registrable. Next would be the dose per year for that associate, which was also non-registrable, and then it does include the lifetime dose for that associate as well, which only a couple of the doctors did have small readings, but nobody is over the OSHA recommended amount of exposure, which is good. So that is the dosimetry report. Next would be explaining why no part of the human body should be exposed to the primary beam, shielded or unshielded. It is very important to make sure that you do not expose yourself to the primary radiation, which is made by the primary beam. That is the highest exposure of radiation, and even if you are shielded, you only decrease your radiation by 25%. So making sure that you do not put any of your body parts in the primary beam is important. It can cause cell damage and damage to cellular DNA, which can cause problems either later in your life because radiation is accumulative, or for future generations. So again, primary beam is going to be your highest amount of exposure, and with even PPE on, it only reduces your exposure by 25%. So next would be explaining the contrast study. You have to explain every step that is involved. So first step of the esophography would be getting a preliminary film, ideally a lateral and a VD from the base of the skull down to T12. Next process would be to allow either the patient to eat barium-soaked food, which was the contrast medium that we used, or to administer it as a liquid. Next, you would quickly lay the patient down and get the film, and repeat the film as up to 3 or 4 times depending. And then depending on what the results of those films were, you would either stop there if future films are not indicated, or go on to a upper GI contrast study. Thankfully, Flint did not need that, and he did not have any problems with his esophagus, and he actually swallowed it very well. For future studies, you would want to have assistance so that you can get the patient to lay down much quicker, or get him to eat while probably in sternal recumbency, so it would be easier to get him to lay down. But otherwise, that is how you would do esophography. Thank you.